This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. For the second day on the bounce, I'm delighted to join by promoter Eddie Hearn. Eddie, you will see me every day this week, I'm sure.
Thanks,
Eddie, straight into it, obviously last night, Canelo-Alvarez, Canelo-Plant, a tasty little face-off. What did you make of their altercation?
I thought it was, I mean, look, we don't want to see too much of it in boxing, but it was quite exciting, wasn't it, at the same time? I felt like it's been brewing for a while in a lot of the stuff that Canelo-Plant's been saying. And obviously they got face-to-face yesterday. I felt like the way that, and even when the press conference resumed, the way that Brian Custer and Showtime were almost like interrogating Canelo-Alvarez and Eddie Reynoso, I felt like it was a bit of a setup, really. And Canelo just stuck up for himself, really. Canelo-Plant, he gave him a shove. Canelo-Plant swung a left hand at him. Beautiful slip counter, crack. Went for the bitch slap at the end, didn't get it. Couple of cuts under the eye. You know, he got dealt with, didn't he? But fair play to Canelo-Plant. He's coming into the fight fired up, and you know, good luck to him. He was bringing the heat. He instigated it, really. You know, and leads to a really exciting fight on November 6th.
Eddie, obviously we saw in Texas Billy Joe Saunders and the antics that their team had to try and maybe get underneath Canelo's skin. Demetrius Andrade came in after the Yildirim fight and stirred it up a bit with Canelo there. Is this a tactic? Is this a ploy to try and just frustrate him? Are people seeing weaknesses, or do you think differently?
I think Canelo-Plant is quite outspoken. I think he's got his opinions, but I do think, I think there was a lot of what went on yesterday. I thought looked like there was an attempt to unsettle the whole team. Don't work with Canelo-Alvarez, honestly. Like the guy has got ice running through his veins, and I don't want to just sound like a fanboy, but look at him yesterday. How cool was he? You know, turned up looking like $1 million. You know, some guy swings at him, little slip counter, you know, bash, and then tell it. But you have to understand, like Canelo-Alvarez is like one of the ultimate competitors. When this happens, it doesn't reduce his performance, it improves it. You know, it increases his focus. He wants to take this guy out now. And him and Eddie Reynoso will want to take this guy out because they attacked him as well, really. And they will now, I know these guys, they will go back to the gym and they will work even harder to deal with this guy. And listen, Canelo-Plant's a great fighter. And it's a really good fight. It's undisputed, it's history, it's legacy. And now it's edgy, which is always good for a build-up. But I've been around this guy. He don't get wound up before a fight. He's ice cool. And even you saw that yesterday, the way he dealt with it all. You know, and even when they started, he wasn't frothing at the mouth. He didn't go red. There wasn't steam coming out of his ears. He was cool. And he's cool. So yeah, I don't think it's going to make a difference to the result of the fight or unsettling him. In fact, it could go the other way. It could up his performance.
Eddie, what did you make of Caleb's cheat comments?
Like I said, I felt that, you know, when Brian Custer gets up there and starts reading out statements from Canelo-Plant, it looked like a setup to me, you know? And obviously everyone's got their opinions. Some people know the team. I know Canelo-Alvarez personally. I know Eddie Reynoso personally. I know they're great people. I know that they adore the sport of boxing. And Caleb's got his points. Maybe some of them are designed, like you said, to unsettle the team and unsettle the camp. But I just felt like when the broadcaster pokes it in as well, it just looked a little bit like, okay, we are, you know, and that's what I also like. Have to respect Canelo-Alvarez because, as people have said yesterday, he went on to a PBC show, right, against a PBC fighter with a PBC broadcaster, just with him and Eddie and a couple of the guys from the gym, and just like I think they put it on him, and they want to win. PBC want to win this fight. Don't get it twisted. And it's a tough fight, and Canelo-Plant's a great fighter, but you're facing a different kind of animal in Canelo-Alvarez.
Psychologically, that cut now for Caleb throughout his camp, how much do you think that will be playing in his mind?
I looked at it last night. I don't think it's that deep. I mean, I don't think he'll be able to spar this week, but what, are they still 6 weeks out? It's not a problem. I think that'll heal up. I don't even know if it will need any glue. I think it will just heal up. It's not ideal, but it's certainly not going to affect the fight, in my opinion.
Just final one on that before we just touch on the workout yesterday, and then I'll let you go, Eddie. Talk to me about your relationship with Canelo. I know you're not his promoter, he's a free agent, but you seem to be very pally away from boxing. Can you just explain to everybody what your relationship is like with him?
We don't have a contract. We had an agreement, and we did have a contract for that initial Callum Smith fight, and then a 2-fight deal. He's made it very clear to me he wants me to represent him, he wants me to be on the team. In this situation, I don't think it would surprise anyone that PBC and Showtime really don't want me involved or there, right? And actually yesterday worked quite well because I was here anyway and I couldn't have gone. Now, when we get to fight week, they're still not going to want me there, but Canelo has asked me to be there. So I will be there, and I'll be there to support him in any way possible to help him and Eddie Reynoso. What I saw yesterday was you just got to be on the ball in this fight, because there's going to be people trying to pull strokes. There's going to be people trying to make sure that Caleb-Plant has any edge that he can, and I want to make sure that Canelo Alvarez gets a fair fight and he gets a chance to make history. So what is my relationship with Canelo Alvarez? Don't know. Maybe you could call me his promoter. Maybe you call me his friend. I'm easy, but I've been asked to be involved. I've been asked to be there, and I'll be there in a flash to represent him, to hopefully celebrate with him and the team, because I'm a big admirer of him. I think he's the coolest motherfucker going.
I wouldn't say that word to him.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, good point. And two, from a business level, of course, he's a joy to work with, and we have a lot of business together with Canelo Promotions and the shows in Mexico and stuff like that. So I hope that in the future we are lead promoter of his shows, but in this instance, the only way this fight will get made is really if I didn't stick my nose in. And he got what he wanted. He got history. He got legacy. And if I can be a tiny part of that, I'll be over the moon. So I'll be out there. I'll be helping him on whatever he needs, and I'll be supporting him and Eddie Reynoso 100% all the way.
Can I just ask, how difficult was it for you not to have been involved in those negotiations, knowing you've guided him to 3 of the belts leading?
Not difficult, because he's out of contract with me. So it's not for me to, and also, if I get involved and start speaking to Al Heyman and PBC and Espinoza, it probably wouldn't have happened. That's the truth of how the relationship is, and that's how boxing works, unfortunately. So it wasn't even, I was doing the work on the DAZN option with Dimitri Bivol. Eddie was doing the work with the Plant option. Firstly, that fell through, and then they got it remade. So it wasn't difficult for me, because I said to him from the start, listen, I'm here, and they made it very clear to me from the start, you're on the team, we want you involved. So however that capacity comes, it's an honour, and I'm sure we'll be lead promoting Canelo Alvarez after he's beaten Caleb-Plant, which I believe he will.
Joshua-Usyk workout yesterday. Neither fighter giving much away. What did you take away from it, Eddie?
It's funny, isn't it? As you get more experienced as a fighter, you do less at those things. And because of COVID, we didn't allow any public there yesterday, so that even inspires them to do even less. So Usyk turned up, did a bit of juggling. I thought he looked big. I thought his neck looked big. His arms looked big. But then AJ come out and looked like an absolute man mountain. So I guess the 2 bits of sort of vital analysis that people will take on board over the next couple of days is, one, the first time they will come face to face tomorrow, because of quarantine we haven't been able to bring them face to face. That's going to be an interesting moment. And secondly is the numbers that pop up on the scales on Friday. People love to analyse that. I mean, I spoke to Alex Krasik earlier, and he thinks that he will come in at about 200 kilos. 100. What am I talking about here? 100 kilos. Sorry, 200. It definitely won't be 200 kilos. And so that's not huge, but he definitely looks bigger than he was in the Chisora fight. And AJ, people talk about him being lean. I thought he looked massive last night. So who knows? But I think both guys are in great condition mentally. They're in great condition, and I think we're going to get an incredible fight.
Just a final one, Eddie, before I do let you go. AJ hasn't done pad work or anything at an open workout since the first Ruiz fight.
Yeah.
Is it kind of a subconscious thing in his mind or in his team's mind, but don't want to give too much away now?
Definitely not. Just come to realise you don't have to do it. Do you know what I mean? Same with Usyk. Usyk didn't do pad work last night. Usyk didn't do pad work against Chisora. Usyk didn't do pad work against Chaz Witherspoon. I'm pretty sure he didn't do no, I think he did against Bellew. But they get to why, you know, I don't even think he's giving anything away. There may be an element of that, but I think it's generally like, look, I'm just going to go in there, take care of my obligations and save my energy for a massive night on Saturday.
Eddie, Wednesday wisdom, drop some.
You always ask me to do this.
Haven't done it in a while, except for yesterday.
Today's wisdom is, and I can't remember if I said this on your one or someone else's, you have to understand that not every day is a great day. Do you know what I mean? So when you have a good day or when you feel great, you have to make the most of it. And you have to remember it, you have to smile, and you have to say to yourself, this is a great day. Do you know what I mean? So today, I feel unbelievable. I mean, you're probably looking at me, I guess the viewers are looking at me going, at 42, how does he do it? You know, how does he look so fresh? And it's just, it's luck. Obviously, it's sexiness. This is a great no context Hearn quote, so I'll get that in there. So going back to the original point, away from the jokes, was not every day you feel. I don't expect yourself. You see a lot on the internet these days about, yeah, come on, attack the day, and you know you only get one life, and live every day like it's your last. I agree with the mindset, but let's be honest, some days you don't feel like that, right? So when you don't feel like that, just accept that I'm going to battle through today. Not really on it today, but I'm going to work as hard as I can. I'm going to try as hard as I can. I'm going to be as nice as possible, but I'm also going to understand I don't feel full of energy. I don't feel that positive today, but I will. And when I do, I'm going to remember this moment and enjoy how I feel. So, you know, I remember one day this week, can't remember who it was, might have been Sunday or Monday, I felt a bit knackered and I didn't really want to talk to people, to be honest with you. I was a bit surly, probably a bit of an arsehole.
On the AJ Usyk fight week?
No, maybe it was Sunday. I can't remember what that was. It was in the last 4 or 5 days. And I thought, it just felt a bit like knackered, you know? And then yesterday, of course, with the announcement and everything, I just felt unbelievable. I had a great run last night when I got in from the workout. I had a great peloton this morning, and I feel amazing today. So today I'm thanking whoever I need to thank that I feel so good, and I'm blessed to be able to breathe, enjoy the sunshine, and yeah, I'm waffling now, but I think you get the gist.
I do indeed, and you've given. I feel great now, Eddie. You've pepped me up, but I feel good.
You just have to accept that you don't every day, and don't be fooled by the. Come on, man, yeah, get out of bed. You know, one life. Yes, I agree. How many people can actually genuinely say, I've lived every day like it was my last? Bollocks. So don't be too hard on yourself.
Well, Eddie, I appreciate your time as always. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being Boxing Social.
Cheers, mate.